fairly standard for this point. Of course, later on into the draft is where you see a little bit more of the weirdness come through. We are going to see Light going towards the Xayah once more. One of the very first games of the split, like we were... One of the very first games of the split was, of course, Rare Atom getting completely blown out by Meteor Skarner. Would have been quite funny for Karsa to bring that one out himself, and he's going to go back to what is fairly similar draft to Game 2.
Surely, as the last game of the split, that for Weibo means nothing. Try a crazier draft. Just try a different draft. For RA, I mean, look, RA can't lose. Like, they can't go below 12th at this point because they're at -9. Pick something fun. Pick something like the Twitch again. Who knows? They're going to go for LeBlanc, and that's fine. But Nymaera, I swear to God, if we have a plain draft, you might have to solo cast, brother. I will not stand for this.
I mean, I saw the Nico hover and I was like, that might be quite fun. You know, we actually haven't seen as many mages coming out as recently. I've been enjoying seeing the more proactive mid-jungle CVTs, the likes of the Ari and LeBlanc, then cropping up very heavily within the LPL. We're not going to see the Renata coming out of Crisp. Instead says, oh, look, there's a hyper-mobile LeBlanc on the other side. Let's pop an ult on them with the Nautilus. That'll help things out. So it's going to be the Xayah Nautilus coming through. And yeah, I too am holding out for something a little bit less bland than the picks we've seen so far, as much as I have a certain propensity to the ones which have been locked in. It would be nice to see, you know, in true LPL fashion, just flexing the champion pools a little bit more. Like, imagine if we had like LDL Fearless draft in this game. That would be absolutely hilarious. Test these champion pools.
I mean, again, Fearless brings out some crazy stuff. Like, we have seen some of the weirdest junglers, you know, more Nidalee, Rengar. We got Rengar from IG Young out of TNG.
Any other favorite things in there?
I
saw there was a Nocturne being hovered. Was that locked in?
I'm not sure about that. You're going to have to ask your brother on that one. But at the very least, I can tell you that, you know, the Rengar, the Nidalee, the Aurelion Sol, Azir top, like, we've had some strange things over there. And at the very least, I wanted to reflect too. We're getting basic bans coming through against Xiaohu. The Twitch ban against Sssum.
That's different.
You gotta respect.
You do. I mean, the Twitch was really powerful. Again, it really was just one late game team fight misstep from Sssum and Rare Atom, which led them to losing that game. Considering the fact that they could have walked away with a 2-0 over Weibo, who would have been a top 4 team at that point, would have dropped down to 5th. For a team that wasn't even in playoffs, that's still a good way to leave that split. Sadly, they've shown that one hidden weapon, though. And now they're going to be at least removing some of Xiaohu's more powerful anti-LeBlanc picks, maybe leaving them to go towards something. I mean, something like a mage does sometimes do pretty okay against LeBlanc. LeBlanc, as a champion, suffers against champions which can poke her out very hard and just like singular abilities. Something like the Veigar, of course, starts locking down some of that mobility as well. But the thing with LeBlanc is that you get to blink back, not just dash back, which means that that one is less valuable. This one, though, is a bit more heavy burst. We saw a lot of this last spring. We've seen a lot of evolution in the runes that you take in this matchup now as well. You often see both of these champions take bone plating to trade very hard at level 1, and that does mean you actually get a very fun mid-jungle 2v2 again.
I'm looking forward to Shadow Surging from Xiaohu, though. At the very least, you know, a different pick for him to end off the split. Ksante, is that how Cube wants to end? Cube wants to play his last game on stage for like 2 months on Ksante. I cannot think of a more horrible way to end. However, Sssum, that's a perfect way to end, in my opinion, as we get a new champion for him on this split. I don't. If TheShy plays Gnar,
no,
I'll be up there.
Come on.
Hoon.
No!
Easy Hoon, let them live a little.
Oh,
they
this
don't
could have
play
been so
for like
many
a
things.
week. Oh
so
my
many
God.
Things. We could have seen a Vayne top lane. We could have, yeah, okay, maybe not that, but like we could have seen so many things. I mean, Ksante is such a well-known quantity at this point. It feels like we're back into that kind of Renekton Gnar meta where just everyone just handshakes at that point and goes, well, we know how this matchup's going to go, and the rest of our team kind of need to know that we're not just going to like flip the game on a level 2, level 3 trade. Sometimes means the lane goes with it. With everything locked in, though, once again, we have Rare Atom with a bit more of an assassin-like AD carry. Twitch, of course, just to kind of like ambush invisibly into different lanes and start being...
And after this, stick around because we'll be talking a little bit about the seeding. We'll populate the graphic for you and let you know exactly who's going to be opening up our playoffs. The boys, yeah. Show some respect.
At least the junglers are feeling so. They're not even autoing each other. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the sportsmanship.
Someone just shout "Do and Be." Ah, good respect. Hey, even supports are doing it. Cameraman missed it, but even supports doing it. Yeah, it's the nod off, isn't it?
So I'm half Welsh, and I respect part of my heritage in regards to one particular thing. There's a word called kutch, which is basically having a cuddle. We're having some kutchin around the rift at this point. We just get some little handshakes in the river going, you know what? One last game to see it off doesn't necessarily mean the most to either of these teams. Let's try to at least go out with a little bit of fun.
That's true. That's the main thing. Side note, TSM was just shouted out in the stadium. Even the fans are letting loose for the final game. Look, Xiaohu's strived. They don't even care about the wave. Xiaohu's just like, yeah, my lane, man.
What happens there is that when Vex has the, like you start E level 1, best way to kind of deal with that, this shouldn't be too kill on both sides, but in mid lane, because you take bone plating on the LeBlanc into the Vex, you want to trade hard level 1 with autos, but if you ever flip back to your distort, just Vex puts the E on it and you can't like dash out of it at that point. Vex loses if she E's first and then LeBlanc hops over. So there's this kind of mind game of where are you going to place this E level 1 from Xiaohu. They get the bot lane walking up though, they're going to get control of this wave down bot.
Yeah, Sssum with the early push in. Looking forward to see where jungles go because, look, Biz is enticing at the very least, especially with Xiaohu on this pick. As you said, utilizing passive is quite easy with LeBlanc with the movement ability. And so we'll kind of catch that one as I'm still upset. I cannot believe in the final game TheShy would just pick Gnar. Does he just want a holiday? Does he just want to chill? Like, what's the deal? I know against the lane, he should be fine, but oh my god, Karsa's top. Jungle's top, and you just knock the Gnar into you. Permafrost,
yeah, I don't think you saw that one coming.
Dead.
Yeah, I mean, Weibo just hate geometry. They just hate cubes. They just hate anything with wait, it's not even a four-sided, it's a 3D four-sided object, but that's not the... Look, I can't even remember how many sides he's got. Either way, he's had a couple of them removed by Karsa heading topside, and this is the matchup which, like, you blind picked into. It's like, well, we're definitely going to handshake this one again. Like, this is such a boring top lane matchup. We could have seen something so much more interesting with this top lane focus.
I absolutely agreed. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, at least that's going to be a little bit more exciting. Xayah versus Kaisa. I said at the start of the day, Kaisa is something I want to see more of.
Imagine saying that, you know, 5 years ago when we saw, like, a whole season of Xayah Kaisa. Karsa's actually going to go right away around that vision.
Is anyone caught out? Flash not needed. Permafrost 2 away. Wait for the Nautilus. Is it a dredge line? Is it a plane? It's none of the above. Here comes Leyan and Strive. Karsa, get out. Get out, champion. There's the flash. Responded. Leyan pulls it out of him.
Remember just a couple of minutes ago when we were all, you know, catching up in river, not fighting each other? At times it was between these two teams. And of course the minions came through and like, right, we should probably get back to fighting again. Xiaohu and Strive actually quite even on this mid wave, but Xiaohu's first into river.
Oh, that's a flash. Xiaohu wants him, gets the Doom, and the Gloom follows as well for Leyan. Oh, auto, get the kill. He just wants to take him. Strive going through. The damage is not enough. Oh, it's a shadow of a teardrop as Karsa's now 3-0.
Oh, that's such heartbreak for Strive. Doesn't have something like the Ignite to burn them down. Gets hit by the last Mistral Bolt coming out of Xiaohu, and suddenly mid-jungle TVT goes weird.
Oh, is Sssum about to die? Hang on, one more auto, he gets it. Chris is now going to try and trade this off. Sssum. He's going to be blocked as well. Riptide's out, but Chris is just out of matter. They're not going to be able to find him, but Sssum does get one.
Yeah, I think if Sssum had enough for just one more supercharger, get that E moving speed, maybe they could have chased down for a kill. Not the case, though. So, mid lane, very much going the way of Weibo after this point. Xiaohu, really on point with Karsa this series on the whole, actually. They've played towards a lot of the mid-jungle combinations. It's not something that we've seen necessarily focused on by Weibo this split. Considering all of the great mid-jungles that we've had in the league, theirs has been a little harder to execute on. Stun into that Mistral Bolt means that there's no flash away from that one. Strive just needed one more auto, couldn't get it.
Karsa, I mean, this guy should be a fridge unit when he goes back to base. He's got 3 kills.
What do you
one
mean
from
by
top,
that?
2 from mid. I mean, he's
a fridge unit.
He is.
Is a freeze
chilling.
machine? He's chilling.
Yeah. He's chilling. He's cold. All he needs to do is just sit there and keep his team nice and cool,
he stores perishable foods within him that you don't have in cans. Right. He keeps you fed for weeks. I mean, he's definitely doing that at this point. Looking to go feed top lane again.
That's right.
Reach into the refrigerator unit. What have you got for us, Weibo?
Look at the back. Oh my god, massive massive piece of cheese that's been in there for about a year. Now about to be crushed and thrown into the bin. 3 members here. Tanking it up was a bit sketchy, but Xiaohu gets his kill. Weibo are dominating.
He's taken a bag of frozen peas out of it and whack Cube around the head with it. He's got a head injury. 0-2 now to Ksante. His poor Ksante, blind picked. And this Sejuani, Karsa is determined to finish off with just... I think what we've discovered now is what these teams are actually playing for. One last player of the game vote for them. It's just one last one. Karsa's like, you know, I've been sat here this whole split, doing my job. Give me the carry. Give me the carry performance. I don't care if it's on Sejuani. Wants to get that last player of the game.
Surprised he only got the Bammies and cloth armor, but still, it is Bammies and Boots of Lucidity outright.
It's got the Bammies and I think the refrigerator's broken, Hysterics. Not sure that's how that's meant to work.
No, it's the opposite one. You know, you want Frostguy, you want something icy. Absolutely.
So, I mean, Frostbite Gold is not sadly something which, like, Sejuani builds a lot of. So, I mean, we could see that. Very strange refrigerator that does both. Yeah.
Yeah. Does heating and cool. It's like an inverter air conditioner. So it also heats the food up as well. It's a microwave as well as a fridge. How inconvenient.
So, funnily enough, okay, see what's happening top lane. It doesn't look like it's going to be a fight at this point. Shy, just going to walk through and do that wave clip. But, you know, you can actually use lasers to heat and cool things. If you fire it like in a very controlled environment, you use lasers to cool things down to like the very coldest temperatures possible because it kind of like the wibble of the laser anti-wibbles the particle thingy. It makes it really cold.
The wibble of the laser.
Look, I could sit here and like describe it in better terms, but I feel like that would take a little too long.
I love wibbles.
Karsa is looking to wibble about in the enemy jungle. Ice cold as always.
Yep. My favorite band, the Wibbles, is Leyan. Okay, he's going to get out of this one.
Wait,
Australians
were they touring again recently? I feel like that was the thing.
I think indeed they were. Southwind locked down. He's ignited at the very least. Light has ulti as well. Xiaohu, meanwhile, and Strive. Shadow Surge is there, but he's going to get ulted. Xiaohu, he gets a shielding as well.
How is he alive?
Oh my god, the Mistral Belt. He survived for so long. As Strive now is going to deter Karsa, but Leyan, couple of autos. Oh, he gets him as well. Strive now in a bit of trouble. The chain lands, but Karsa, he's only got Lucidity, not Merc Treads. 4th kill for Mr. Refrigeration Unit.
Yeah, he turns up the heat on that one because the Barmy Cinder, which gets the final tick of damage, I believe. Either that or something else which I didn't see coming through it. But Karsa, this guy is out with a statement game in the very last best of one of this regular season. Going to go into a replay. Xiaohu's trying to go on a world tour with his ultimate, try and get all those resets, fly across the screen. But his tour bus has been cancelled, been impounded a little bit too early because CC comes down really, really well. Leyan has his ultimate there as well. Things get really, really close after this point because Sejuani typically much more bursty with melee laners because you get the permafrost up that much more early. Karsa burns down Leyan at least. And now he's walking away with so much gold. You got to expect he's going to be getting, you know, 2-3 items like in this game at that point. Sometimes you don't always see the 3rd item from junglers, but he's getting so much gold. You're going to see it soon.
Look, it's... there you go, Sunfire
Sunfire first. I love it. None of this
first
radiant nonsense.
Yeah, forget that. I mean, again, he's just going to clear so fast as well as... Here we go, TheShy versus Cube in the top lane, and All Out wasn't pop, but instead the Mega Gnar was the only thing to come out. 3 plates taken up there, by the way. As Karsa moves back towards mid, instead, he's just going to find Strive. I mean, he cares not at this point. Refuses to elaborate on any play. And he's just everywhere on the map, going towards bot now for a potential dive.
Ssum is left alone here as well. They see him on the Tribrush ward, so both teams know what's happening towards the bot side. Leyan heading towards bot side to potentially shield something. Karsa hanging around the corner, of course, has Herald for potential power play somewhere on the map. Get plates, get a potential dive in as well. Not going to be able to throw that down bot side at this moment, though. The 2 plates taken solo by Light. Once again, Light having a lot of resources put into him, taking them for himself as well. Karsa has decided that now is in fact the time. There's no ward spawning him out this time. Leyan is going to be here as a response.
I know he's coming. Southwind gets over the wall in time. Leyan hasn't shown himself just yet. As Karsa's going to put the Herald down. Light should be benefiting off this one. He is. He's going to be the first one.
Fight. So let's see what happens with that big ultimate from Xiaohu. Hook misses.
Sssum does get ulted in. Mr. Bolt's good again. Shadow Surge is there. Oh, it lands. Xiaohu jumps in as well. That's bold. Goes golden, but Karsa can't save his life because Strive has now come down. Depth charge onto the Vi. It's ignored by cease and desist while Chris Now it's a flash away. He's dead, but under the turret, Leyan will die. Yakety, 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 sacks. Let's go for some more. Strive back to the clone, and it will be a bit of a trade, but Weibo got more gold from it anyway.
Do you ever think Weibo think they shouldn't fight? They just go and they go, yeah, we can take that dive. Xiaohu's like, he hits the ult. I'm going in, boys. Dives for the attempt onto that bot lane tower, but it does end up in an even trade because Weibo have a lot of burst damage on that bot side of the map, particularly having their tank so far ahead in Karsa. Very hard for him to die. Xayah using his ult to poke under that tower, really making Cube's life very difficult. As you said, taking a lot of plates. Solo in that point, Herald was already put down. Bot side, 4 plates being taken down on that bot lane turret. Xiaohu, I wonder if he should have just waited a second here, just let someone else take aggro, because he takes, what, 2 turret shots here before he ends up, or he takes just the 1, but the amount of damage coming through feels like maybe if they just coordinated that a little bit more. I mean, the Vex ult lasts for a little while, you can reactivate it within a decent amount of time. Maybe that would have worked out better for them, but either way, Karsa, like, they walk away from the end of that fight with a lot more gold in hand.
They do indeed, and look, Karsa didn't die, didn't give away the shutdown either. We'll be picking up the second dragon of the game, and I think Light was able to benefit off the back. Xiaohu too, now with the second kill. And for Weibo, they still lead this game by 3,000 at 12 minutes, so it's still a massive gold lead. But crazy things have happened, and Weibo have shown that they've been inconsistent with holding a lead past the mid-game in this series.
And now we're back out onto the map, because now we're getting to the point where you can see Kai's mid lane allocations are going to start changing. That's because bot lane outer tower has gone down. TheShy doing very well in an individual map, but because the lanes have kind of changed allocation, he's going to be left out on a bit of a island at this point. A lot of people going topside.
Will he get flipped though? Leyan was waiting for it as Gnar might need to be used, but he's waiting for everyone to come through. He can't move, man. Wow, though, he gets a trade. He gets a trade in a 1 versus 5.
Leyan doesn't wait for the wave. He takes aggro on his way in with the ult. Before he even does damage, he's taking tower shots. It's not like he picks up aggro because he has damaged the TheShy. Not quite timing that right. Means an extra turret shot goes through. That's the trade there. And the TheShy gets a lot of gold for what should have been a very losing situation, as he said.
Just can't believe 5 members came top for that as well, despite Leyan botching it a little bit, but still.
It's the global taunt. The global taunt once again. It's been a while since we've seen that one.
Top laners, gotta love when the whole enemy team's up in your lane, up in your grill. Herald's not even up yet either. It's a minute 15 from getting there.
Play safe top lane, 5 members. I mean, again, credit too. Actually gets a lot out of that situation considering. And after that point, because they've used so many ultimates to only get that 1 kill, and lost 1 in return as well, they lose the turret, which has been basically worked on entirely by TheShy. You can see here, because that minion dies, Leyan is the next target under tower before that range minion gets in. So he ends up taking aggro right from the off. An extra turret shot comes through. Probably would have died regardless because of the ult into turret, but still, not perfectly executed. But I think with so many resources committed topside, Rare Atom felt like they were forced to make something rather than watching the rest of the map fall apart. Doesn't work out for them.
Look at Light's goal. I mean, he did
partake
in...
Karsa has more than TheShy!
He does indeed because of the early kills.
Well, the TheShy had like 4 solo turret plates, a kill in the tower there, and Karsa is still ahead of him. We should really get into the microwave business. That's what I'm discovering.
We really should.
Like, this is the new hot place. You need like quick business tips, that's the one.
I mean, damn straight. Like, Karsa's been flaming red hot. And look,
there's another
I'm just looking at the map.
4-man play. They've got another 4 people on this side of the map. Surely
leave me alone, he says. Gnar's going to wind out as well. He's got flash this time. Leyan and turret. Southwind and turret. Turret ramping. What are you doing?
Guys.
Southwind. Is he going to int flash for flash? Southwind. Now the TheShy's kiting it back. Him versus the world. Quickness. Over the wall. Leave me alone. Leave the TheShy alone.
It's going to cost them a Herald on the other side. They wasted a solid minute trying to take down TheShy on this bottom side of the map. It's not even going to get them like a huge amount of farm. You don't have turret plays to take. You're not even going to finish up that tower. Cube's not going to stick around from that. He's going to probably recall on that bottom side of the map. He finally starts channeling that. I am questioning the real value of that play.
I am too. Leyan flashing, that ain't it. Shadow Surge off the cooldown. Xiaohu flashes back over, but Surge's going to be held on for the time being. Is he even going to throw it regardless? I guess he just doesn't care, doesn't want to go back in. There it is. Does land on Southwind, but the turret's going to go regardless with Herald pushing mid. TheShy probably sitting in his base going like, ha, was that worth it?
Yeah, I think he's just sat there like, damn, they stopped me from stacking my cull just that little bit quicker. That's the one thing. 17 HP ticking up, of course, inhibitor towers do regen a little bit of HP. But TheShy is just sat there like, guys, I'm just trying to finish off my cull. And Rare Adam, they are insulted by this. They take offense to what is happening in this lane. This no, you are midi, you must perish. They don't even wait for the minion wave to come through. One by one, Southwind and Leyan just go, well, I guess I have to go through turret now. It's your turn. They don't even bother tanking for each other, and they finally see it come down. But it's at the cost of, what, 3 ultimates out of the 4 available at that point? Again, the efficacy of that play really in question.
Just like the last one as well. Weibo is still ahead. 5,000 gold actually now, even more. This team's doing fine, and a team that also got 14 turret plates, by the way, out of 15. It's been a while since I've seen the full map blown apart pre-14 minutes. So, no wonder that Weibo are this far ahead. Look, Light has just been chilling as well. He hasn't been the most noisiest player, but he's ahead by 20 CS. And on this Xayah again, I'm seeing him look pretty good.
That's because light travels faster than sound, Hysterics. So we'll wait for the big boom a little bit later when he starts getting to the late game. You see? Yeah, see what I did there? Yeah. Got the dragon coming up now as well. See if Light will be in a bit better position to make his impact seen and heard around these bigger team fights. But please don't go towards one of these side lane plays again. Okay, it's not TheShy. We're safe. It's okay.
It's not.
Do you think TheShy understands what it's like living as Faker for the last however many years at this point? Because, like, this feels like the global taunt. It's kind of something that some of these great players have had, where it's like, we must just kill this person in the side lane. Now he's actually got his team to back him up.
I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, he doesn't have the tenure that Faker has, you know. It's like 10 years now as well. But
Xiaohu's just stopping recall, sorry, throughout the ult.
He is. He did actually try to stop it because bot's getting pushed in quite hard. They are backing though, so it's going to stop right there. But further to the point, while Dragon goes down to Weibo, I want to point out, like, we don't have a Faker. Like, if you want to compare a Faker, maybe it's as, what are we looking at? Yes, I know all plates are up. RA haven't got a turret. Yes, it has been a dominant game. Thank you, Observer.
I mean, you have the, well, we had the all-time great players of, like, the last 10 years of LPL voted upon recently. You got players like Uzi. Honestly, for me, Xiaohu's up there. I think Xiaohu has, particularly being the king of Spring, the Emperor of Spring, rather, winning all those MSI titles. Xiaohu is up there as well. TheShy, rookie from the IG roster, you know, the first, like, the first team to break that string of Korean dominance through, you know, the LPL as well. It was when the LPL went on there. Spree. Shy, speaking of, he does have Xiaohu in the back pocket here.
He does. Maybe that's why he's so confident. He's about to go Mega Gnar as well. He all-out there, but it's not against the wall. Instead, it gives TheShy one. And Xiaohu and TheShy just 2v1. He's getting revenge. It is personal for TheShy as he takes down members one by one. A great route here. Southwind just going to die while Chris gets ultied on. The flash from Sssum matched by Light. Actually, this time it's the real flash. Waiting for the killer instinct. The Karsa comes in. The cleanse as well. Light kills him. The all-in cease and desist. Sssum, he'll die alongside Light. The Shadow Surge is just out of range from Xiaohu meanwhile. Strive comes in to help his jungler as it's getting real serious across the rift.
Yeah, this is, wow, everyone's taking this super seriously. Totally not just going for random 1v1s and burst plays in the last game of the split. Rare Adam, they're not going down without a fight. I appreciate that. They have continually looked for plays, regardless of how effective they have been, but they've been losing out continually on each and every attempt of this. Even if they do pick up a kill somewhere, they're losing somewhere else on the map. Because they're so far behind in gold, it takes them that many more resources to get wins in these overloaded side lane situations. TheShy, it wouldn't surprise me at some point if he just went towards something like the Hullbreaker. Like, because he's been playing a side lane so much, it would stop Rare Adam from being able to take him down quite so easily, and they're already having a difficult time of it.
Again, they're sending so many members to do so, but just quickly before we get any further, I will say, you know, TheShy has quickly become a player like Faker, not in the tenureship, but in the quality in the LPL. As Baron starts out here, that legend now joins across Xiaohu. And for this split, they will start fourth in playoffs. It's already a great moment as Weibo on the Baron. Speaking of moments, will not be contested here. It's taken by Light in the end, but the smite won't matter because no one was nearby from RA. Baron secured. And 8,000 gold is now the lead for this red-sided team in Game 3.
Yeah, and, you know, I think that we can maybe take a step back. No, actually, let's not. There's 5 people on the screen. Potential engage coming through. I was wondering what was happening with Leyan. Flash, Q charging with that ult there. TheShy not at the play, though. So I think Weibo were looking for the disengage.
Classic running in on Karsa. Ulti does come through. Shadow Surge is good, though. Only under the front line of Cube. Xiaohu's waiting, goes in, no fear. He's charmed mid-lane.
Southwind
Goes gold on the Shadow Bolt. Good, but the damage not enough. Xiaohu has to flash away, but it's matched. Leyan jumps in as light. All the feathers are going to be huge as soon as they're pulled on in. There it goes, but RA were pacing themselves out, so it's only Cube to die. TheShy has rejoined. Now for Karsa to stop Southwind's huge as Strive over the wall. Weibo Gaming in their last game of the split want to end this with a bang, and RA just keep being fuel for the foddering. Southwind running for his life. TheShy does that flash. Boomerang. Oh, the minion. Southwind, yes. Thumbs up. Oh my god, he's angry at life.
TheShy finally gets the chance to turn things around. Now it's my playground, my side lane. It's Gnar now. Strive does have the Mimic. Distort can probably get away with that. Very hard to shut down that LeBlanc, of course. And yeah, I mean, after this play, again, we're winding down to what looks like to be a Weibo Gaming, bringing them to a likely 11-6 series scoreline. This is a team which always had that potential. We've had a couple of teams which have, of course, been given that moniker of super team. Top esports and JDG first and foremost amongst them, you have to imagine. But Weibo, you look at the players they've got here. I mean, hell, remember that Chris was also a World Championship winner as well on FPX. You've got 4 international title holders across this roster. Yeah, you focus on the top side of the map maybe because of the more, I guess, high-profile kind of performances in their victories. Xiaohu, TheShy, and Karsa are all very loud players at that point, but Crisp in his day was also incredible in that FPX Worlds run. This is a roster which should realistically have high expectations and a high potential. They've not necessarily realized that throughout the entirety of the split. We've seen some of their shortcomings even in this series when they look for fights when they probably shouldn't do. But in games like this, these series victories, you can see again the macro playmaking, the experience in late game situations, which some teams in the LPL really can't replicate. They do have some very unique advantages to this team.
It'll just be about who they verse in their 1BO5 before double elimination playoffs and how they adjust to the BO5s with this new squad as Weibo crossing through the enemy base. Karsa's still taking a bit of damage here from Strive, but with Baron buff, things looking hard here for RA in their final game of the split, in the final game of the LPL split in general. Weibo now rampage in, an inhibitor left standing and no longer. Double now down through mid, through bot. Weibo, Dreadline's there, but to get in and end this game, they want to stick around, but it looks hard, even with supers coming in. With the wave clear available for RA, it's enough for now.
That it is. So, Weibo not able to finish the game on that point. Dragon's up. It's not going to be sold point. Rare Adam, they can probably give that one up. But they do have 3 items on the Kaisa now. If things go really, really awry for Weibo in their engage, you need to be very careful that AD carry doesn't end up kind of popping off on the side of a fight. If they misposition poorly enough, Weibo, Kaisa's actually going to start taking down the person on the fringe of things very, very quickly if it combos up with someone like Leyan. So watch out for that one. Shy,
oh my god,
starting to fight himself though right now.
Getting pulled out by Strive, but the damage back was maybe more than he expected as they find a fear. The Dread blind, Southwind's dead. The Shadow Surge has started up as well with the depth charge. It's an easy target. TheShy gets a one-man ulti back, but it's on the Strive, onto this LeBlanc, and you won't be sipping anymore. Cube running for his life. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have order as Cube is trying to get back to base. Weibo Gaming now looking to run into that base and end it right here.
Cube might just escape with his life. Karsa not able to chase that one down to Sssum.
Oh, gets a bit of help. That's not fair. Light comes in to save him. Teleport back from Cube as well. 2 members left standing. Nymaera. This is going to be a hard task. Southwind comes back in alive, but at 25 minutes with the teleport in, TheShy will be able to burn his as well. The all-in, the Mistral Bolt, so much damage. Xiaohu having yet another great series, but folks, it's Weibo who are having a great time as Leyan tries for Chris. He'll get him. But they're on a rampage, ready to end the series here. They'll end their regular season with a split. And in our final series of the LPL 2023 Spring, it's Weibo who stand tall, who lock in 4th seed, and will be starting in round 3 of playoffs. We've got a lot to look forward to here. as we're about to head into the most intense part of this spring split.
All that's left now is that brief kind of intake of breath before the plunge that is playoffs. It's such a relentless schedule coming up ahead of them, so we have a bit of a lighthearted moment in that third game. Had some fun in the early game, had some incredibly back and forth skirmishes across the map.
Yeah.
Good question maybe what Rare Adam were doing on those sidelines. They walk away with, sadly, one last series lost to the name, but they were very close to 2-0ing Weibo. Cannot take that away from them. That second game, it really was one late game team fight which took it away from them, where Ksante misstepped just a little bit. Weibo with all of their late game experience between their players